The joys of boat restoration. When do you draw the line? What's up, guys? So I'm back on the center console conversion project. So I moved to my house. I'm here in my driveway. Just because I didn't want to be grinding over next to my shop and getting dust all over my neighbor's stuff. So game plan today is to just get this all grinded down to fresh glass. I could see that there's some plywood here, kind of where the deck, it looks like somebody cut this here at one point, and then they put the deck over the top of it, or the deck that I just pulled out was butted up against that. So digging this out is going to be kind of tricky. But the tools I'm going to be using, I'm going to use this first. So it's a 4.5-inch grinder with a ceramic tile. This is a diamond blade. So I actually just bought this a couple days ago because the one that I had finally wore out. I think I had it on my cutter for 3 or 4 years, cutting glass every single day. So these are great for cutting glass. It just cuts through like butter. So then I have my Makita mini belt sander. I think this is the 1 1/8" version. You can find links to this on my Amazon store. So this will come in handy like down in the tight areas, like where the transom meets the whole deck, and then along the edges. So this is great. This removes a lot of material. This is an 80 grit disc. I wish I had some of the 60 belts, but I don't. But this will work good. And then I'm going to switch the 4.5-inch grinder to these silicon carbide grinding discs. So these are the ticket if you're grinding hulls. I have a backer plate for it because this is like a paper backer plate, and if this gets wet, these tend to want to fly apart. So these are a little sketchy. So they've got these, I guess, these carbide pieces of grit in there. So you're going to want to use long sleeves and long pants because it shoots off these little bits of whatever it is. And it's definitely going to hit you. So I'm going to cut the meat of the glass off, like where there's extra tabbing left, with this first to get it as close to the deck as I can get it. And then I'll switch to this just to grind it smooth, and then I'll go over the top of all of it with a bunch of these. So I probably should be able to do the entire boat with maybe 2 or 3 of these, maybe less. These last a pretty long time. And another nice tool to have is one of these fans. So you can kind of point this where you're grinding, and it'll just kind of move the dust out of your work area so that you're not just, sitting in a cloud of dust. So, I got to trim that out. I'm going to trim the tabbing off this center stringer that I'm leaving, trim the tabbing off that so that everything can all be re-glassed with all fresh glass. So nothing really groundbreaking, but this is probably the most dreadful part of any restoration project. All right, so making pretty good progress. I pretty much cleaned out all the transom, grinded out all this heavy tabbing that was right here. I started to clean this down, so I'm gonna have to grind this back to about right here because the tabbing for the transom is gonna come around that far. Then I'm gonna heavy grind it out about this far for all the tabbing, and then the rest of it is just going to get like a light grinding. But disc is still got some life in it. The problem is this thing gets in the way, so it's hard to lay it flat. So there's a lot of grit here left on the inside, with the outside edge gets worn down pretty fast, but not bad. Did all this grinding with one disc, so I'm going to switch it out now because it's starting to get a little bit dull. Oh man, this is the worst, but at least it's going quickly. Still moving along in this direction, but I just noticed that for some reason there's like a subfloor here, and this is, you can see there's like a step right here, and it steps up, and this right here is, it's hollow underneath. I don't know why that was there. I'm assuming at some point there's probably a bench here, and maybe, I don't know, that was probably why a lot of the water wasn't making its way out of the boat, because it was just hitting that lip right there. So I kind of stared at this for like 10 minutes and I was going to leave it, but I'm worried that if I tab the transom into this, it's just not very solid. So I'm going to cut this here and try to get this whole layer of glass out. Hopefully it doesn't give me troubles. Oh boy. So I found wood in this section right here and I cut it out, and then I discovered that this hull has wood coring. So there was plywood on top, which I'm not really sure why there was additional plywood on the top. Then there's glass, and then there's wood underneath. It looks like wood planks. So you can see, it's hard to see it, but there's a plank there, a plank there, there. But and it's rotted out. Oh boy. So at this point I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I think that's just too much to for me to justify putting into this boat. All right, well, I switched to my iPhone again because the friggin' GoPro, I swear it lasted 20 minutes. I need to get a different camera. But there's wood coring in the boat, and I just cut this section out, and it looks like it looks like it goes along here and then it dips into the center. It doesn't go all the way up to the side. It kind of just like goes down that way, and it stays, that's pretty much the edge of it right there. So I would have to cut this glass out and dig all that wood, and then either I would probably just put a bunch of layers of 2415 stitch mat. I wouldn't put coring back in it, just beef it up really well with glass. I don't know if I love this boat that much, but I mean, for me to buy something else, you know, cheap, or if I get a free boat, I don't know, or maybe I'll just shift gears and work on one of my other ones instead and sell the Yamaha, just get rid of this thing. The joys of boat restoration. When do you draw the line?